close your eyes and drift into sleep, what becomes of your thoughts? Where does your sense of self vanish to when the world falls away and silence overtakes all noise? The Stoics, known for their mastery of thought, virtue, and self-discipline, did not ignore this subtle but profound mystery. They understood that sleep was not a mere biological necessity, it was a sacred doorway into the unknown, a nightly reminder of mortality and a reflection of life itself. As a man thinks, so he sleeps, and as he sleeps, so he lives. Reimagined from Epictetus' teachings to the Stoic philosopher, sleep is not just rest. It is a lesson, a test, a teacher, a rehearsal for death, and a renewal of mind. Each night when the conscious self dissolves into dreams or into nothingness, the soul enters a realm where logic loosens its grip and time uncoils like a river freed from its banks. What remains then? And where does the flame of awareness hide? This teaching will explore, through Stoic reasoning and profound reflection, the path of consciousness as it slips into the invisible theater of sleep. With vivid storytelling, layered philosophical truths, and grounding insights, we will explore the unseen journey of the mind, and how understanding it deeply changes how you live, act, and perceive your own existence. The Stoic view of consciousness. The Stoics did not separate the body and mind as two enemies. They saw the mind as the governing principle, the hegemonikon, a ruler perched atop the citadel of the self. This consciousness was not random, it was divine. It was reason, logos, that breathed life into matter and elevated humans above beasts, but this consciousness is not constant. It flickers. It tires. And each night, it surrenders its throne. The soul is dyed the color of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, yet what becomes of the soul when thought ceases? When reasoning no longer guides the senses, and the will lies dormant, to a Stoic, consciousness in sleep was a return to nature, a restoration of the soul's harmony. It was not lost, it was returned to the whole. For they believed all parts of a man were never truly his. Even thought was a loan from the cosmos. The Stoic sage did not fear this nightly vanishing. He welcomed it. For it mirrored death, not as a terror, but as nature's purest rhythm. Consciousness before sleep, the fall of control. As a man winds down his day, the Stoic watches how his thoughts begin to unravel. His will, once sharp and precise, now grows soft and fluid. The plans of the day give way to reflection, then to silence. This is the first lesson. The descent into sleep is the surrender of control. Epictetus taught, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. When sleep nears, even opinions vanish. The Stoic sees this moment not as weakness but as balance, the natural ebb after a day's flow. He learns not to grasp at the reins when the chariot must rest, and so he prepares. He examines his actions of the day, forgives what needs forgiveness, corrects what needs correcting, and then lets go. This detachment is not laziness, it is wisdom. The great silence, where thought dissolves. When one falls into deep sleep, not dream but the void, consciousness disappears entirely. No image, no sound, no narrative. Just blankness. Where did your awareness go? To the Stoic. This is the mirror of death. And yet, it harms you not. You awaken whole, often clearer, sometimes wiser. This is the second lesson. Consciousness is not identity. It is a flame, not the lamp. It can fade without extinguishing the soul. Seneca wrote, death is the last sleep. No, it is the final awakening. If so, then each night is a lesser death. And each morning, a rebirth. Thus, the Stoic does not fear death, for he rehearses it daily. Nor does he attach himself to consciousness, for he knows it will come and go like waves upon the shore. This gives him freedom. He is not ruled by the ego's need for constant awareness. He allows the unconscious to restore him. The dream realm, reflections of the self. Not all sleep is void. Sometimes, dreams arise. Vivid, strange, emotional. They defy logic and surprise even the disciplined mind. The Stoics did not worship dreams, but they observed them. To dream is to see the subconscious in movement. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In dreams, those colors swirl freely. This is the third lesson. Dreams are not prophecy, but reflection. What you dream tells you not what will happen, but what burdens your mind. The Stoic does not obsess over dreams. He does not build temples to visions. But he learns. If a man dreams of anger, he examines his waking pride. If he dreams of love, he questions his attachment. He does not fear the dream world, but neither does he linger there. He sees it as smoke from a fire he must tend in waking life. The return, waking as renewal. When the eyes open and consciousness returns, something subtle changes. You are the same, but not entirely. The ego returns, but slower. The mind awakens, but humbled. This is the fourth lesson. Awakening is an opportunity to reset the soul. The Stoics practiced morning reflection for this reason. As the sun rises, they ask, what is within my control today? What passions must I tame? What virtues must I strengthen? They do not rush back into the world. They enter it mindfully. The Stoic sees sleep not as a break from life, but part of it. Just as the breath has inhalation and exhalation, life has waking and sleeping. One feeds the other. The eternal witness, what remains when you disappear? Now comes the deeper mystery. If consciousness disappears in deep sleep, and dreams are only mental flickers, what remains of you? Some Stoics propose that the animating principle never truly sleeps. While thought pauses, the life force continues. Like the heart that beats in silence, the soul watches unseen. This is the fifth lesson. There is something deeper than thought, a silent observer within. You do not control it. You cannot describe it. But it is there when you wake, and still present when thought dissolves. It is not the ego. It is not desire. It is not fear. It is what makes you you, even in the absence of I. To a Stoic, this silent presence is proof of the divine order. Not a god of temples, but of reason, nature, and inner harmony. You are part of this great order. And sleep teaches you that the soul is not dependent on constant awareness to exist. Living in light of sleep, the philosophy of cycles. A Stoic life respects cycles. Day and night. Highs and lows. Passion and detachment. Sleep is a nightly gift from nature, proof that surrender is not defeat. The modern man clings to stimulation, avoids silence, and fears sleep. He fills his nights with artificial light and his dreams with anxiety. But the Stoic detaches. He lets go each evening, trusting that what departs will return. That what sleeps will awaken. This is the sixth lesson. Embrace rhythm, and peace will follow. The mind cannot run endlessly. Consciousness cannot stay aflame. Even the sun must set. And when it rises again, the world is reborn, not because it fought against the dark, but because it surrendered to it. Death and the final sleep. Why Stoics practice the nightly rehearsal. The Stoics believed that understanding sleep was preparation for understanding death. Just as you do not fear losing consciousness at night, you need not fear the final loss of self. Practice death daily, said Epictetus, not to be morbid, but to be free. Each night you disappear, and still you awaken. One day, you will not. And even then, the soul's essence may continue in ways unseen. Whether it joins the cosmos or dissolves entirely, the Stoic does not waste time in speculation. He lives now. Fully. Virtuously. Attuned to the present, not bound by fear of vanishing. This is the seventh and final lesson. To understand where consciousness goes in sleep is to live without fear of where it goes after death. The secret within the silence. Where does your consciousness go when you sleep? It returns to its source, not lost. Not dead. But surrendered. Offered back to the cosmos for restoration. Each night is a reminder that you are not your thoughts, not your memories, not even your awareness. You are something deeper. Something capable of disappearing and returning, again and again, wiser each time. The Stoic, who lives in alignment with nature, does not fear this rhythm. He embraces it. He learns from it. And he sleeps not just for rest, but for truth. So tonight, when your head touches the pillow and your thoughts begin to fade, remember, you are not vanishing, you are remembering who you are without needing to think. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video brought value to your day. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. And if you think someone else might find this helpful, please feel free to share it. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.